am the Frugal Hugel gardener. I'm out here in front of some of my banana plants, and if you notice, some of the leaves are yellowing. I was out here yesterday and I fertilized, and these yellow leaves, because we had some rain in here and there was some puddling, it sat for a few days, so a lot of the leaves that got over wet are yellowing, lacking nutrients. I went ahead and fertilized. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut off some of these yellow leaves and show you how I do it. First off, on the smaller leaves that are soggy and not stiff, I use scissors. Like in my potted plants, I already just did those. I'll show you those in a minute. But first, I have a sharp machete. I put the grinder on this so it's fairly sharp. Sometimes it gets dull and then I redo it, but basically it's sharp. So I just go to the leaf and I cut it on a downward motion like this. Just like that. Usually just 1 or 2 strokes it comes off. I don't want to damage this, but I come off on a little bit of an angle. So I'm going to go around and trim these off in the same way, and it's going to start opening up over here. See, it's yellowing. Now, a lot of my big leaves that are not yellowing and they're just green, I give those to the chickens. They love them, but for now I'm going to trim these up. Okay, so you can kind of see there's a big improvement there, because a lot of those leaves, when we had the rain, we had high winds, so they just buckled over. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to finish trimming these up, and I'll show you what it looks like with all the leaves that are now hanging down all cut off. Okay, so for some leaves that just have yellowing on the ends, I don't cut them off, but what I do is I just go ahead and cut off some of the yellow like that. No reason to take off the whole plant, the whole leaf, unless the yellow comes all the way up. Okay, so more or less I got them all off. Let me walk around. You can see how open it is for airflow on the bottom, and the majority of the yellow are off. You can see them all on the ground. You can see the way the bottom opened up. See how much nicer it looks in here, and now there's a lot of airflow. And all these yellow leaves are on the ground. So I have to get to this plant, there's yellow, but this side's looking good. Now, some of those brown leaves, you can leave those on there. That will protect them from the wind. It'll protect them from the cool weather that's coming. There's a couple little yellow ones down there that I wanted to show you. Okay, so as you can see, these are small leaves, so I used a scissor and just cut them off like that, because I don't want to take the machete and give it a whack. The odds are it's not going to chop it and it'll just strip it off that little plant. Cause more damage than it's worth. So, but here's an overview. It's looking much better. See that? And it was looking like these right over here. See how the leaves are falling down? That's stopping airflow. They're gonna brown, so you can leave them on there. They'll brown. They'll give you cool protection. So if you're in a zone where it's starting to get real cool, just let them flop down. They'll create a little blanket around it. but I'm over here in Florida. We are getting cool weather, but we're a long ways off from a freeze. So this is probably the last trimming that I'm gonna do until spring. So let me finish up. Okay, so for the most part, I got them all cleaned up. I'll show you what they look like. I had to use my scissors, and the machete comes in handy because you can reach up really high and saw off the leaf where you normally wouldn't be able to reach. So eventually I'm gonna have one of those on a stick so I could get up even higher. So this is what it looks like. You can see I got this whole row all cleaned up. And you can see the banana plant looks a lot cleaner. I left some brown leaves on, and you can see this whole row going all the way down, all the yellow. But the banana plants now have airflow. All the yellow's off. I fertilized them, so they should be fine. And there's some really nice good racks coming in. Look at the size of that rack. Really nice. The pollinators are working it. Another rack over there, another rack over there, another rack right over here. So there's a bunch. There's another one coming in up there. And if you look, there's some, we'll go down the other side. There's racks on the other side. So don't that look better? Nice and clean. All the yellow leaves are off. All the fallen down and broken leaves are off. Created a lot of airflow. My bananas could breathe, the plants could breathe. It looks better because we don't have all the yellow. I could walk by these to check everything out and see in between now. So you can see all the leaves on the ground. So what I went ahead and did was, a few of them that were hanging down were green. Now these are going to feed my chickens. So, but there's still some yellow ones on, like right over here. I missed it. So this small one, I'm going to take the scissor and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to get in on this one and cut it and cut it. That's all there is to it. Snip, snip, snip. So you can see there's another rack right up there. This is nice and clean. Okay, so it all comes down to what you're trying to accomplish. Since I fertilized and since we had the rain and setting water, they yellowed, I wanted to trim everything up, make it look good. Now I can see my racks a little better when I walk around. Let me show you what I did with my potted plants. Okay, so by the way, you see all these on the ground? I'm just going to leave them there, let them yellow, let them brown. I'm going to throw them up against the base of the plant. So, you know what I mean? So we're on our way to check out the potted plants, and then I have to tackle, probably about another 900, 800 plants, maybe even more. So it ain't gonna be all done today, but I'll tackle some in the morning right now, and since the weather's getting cool, every morning I'll do a section, and eventually it will all be done. I'm not gonna kill myself over it, but work is work. Gotta get it done. Okay, so over here you can see there's little leaves on the ground. Leaves on the ground. You can see these are all trimmed up. These are my banana plants that I potted recently. I always trim when I pot. I want to send the energy down to the roots. So you can kind of see if they're all looking like. Now these are the ones right here with the corn problem. They're looking really good. And all of these are just your typical banana plants that I went and took off. But that's what they look like until they start growing. There's nothing wrong with that. You want the energy to go down to the roots. And once the roots are established enough, all that energy is going to go up towards the leaves. Okay, so these are my other potted plants. They've been in the pots for a while. The roots are filling up and maybe even outgrowing the pot. So I just came in here and I trimmed them all up. And as you can see, they're all looking nice. So that's what you need to go through if you want to have your banana plants looking nice and fresh and create airflow. Now this is good for the summer and a light fall. I'm in 9A Florida, so it's still nice. We're in October. We're not going to have a frost, hopefully, at all, but more than likely about February or March. So I'm safe doing this. Now if you're in a cooler climate, I have to stress, just let them hang right now, let them brown. That's going to create a little blanket around your plant. I mean, you're in October, you're probably getting real cold into the 40s right now or 50s, and it's going to drop down even more. So the more protection you have for your plants, the better. So anyway, hey, this is Sam, the Frugal Hugel Gardener. I hope you enjoyed my little short video on pruning off the dead or browning or the broken, falling down leaves. If you did, give me a like, give me a share. Come on over to my Facebook page. Come on over to my Facebook Banana Lovers group. The link is in the description on the bottom of the video. Click on it. You'll come over to the group. If you love bananas, you're gonna love that group. A lot of people posting, a lot of photos, a lot of articles, a lot of discussions. You learn stuff. I'm learning stuff. The more you learn, the better you're gonna be a banana grower. Hope to see you there.